up, everybody? I'm trying something new today. I'm going to try and do a video without a whole bunch of cutting and editing and stuff, because that's where I have a problem with. I can't figure, I don't really have time. I don't like sitting behind the computer and trying to do editing. So I'm here today with Project Lor-Van for Modern Riding, SEMA 2022, Automotive Direct. And we have a few other sponsors in the back here. But anyways, this is Project Lor-Van, and I'm going to show you what I plan on doing today. I've got a section of drip rail right here that is rotted pretty bad and underneath. So I'm going to remove it. I'm going to patch the cell panel here, and then I'm going to put in a new drip rail. I don't have a new one because they don't make it, but I do have some that I took out of another car, and I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to walk you over here and show you what I'm talking about. You have to bear with me because I am using a gimbal, and I've never really operated one like that. I was trying to go down, but I went up. But anyways, if you're not subscribed to Go-Go's Garage, go check out Go-Go's Garage. This gimbal was sent to me by him, and it's awesome. It's just I haven't used it enough to really get the hang of it. So bear with me while I try to do this video using this gimbal. But anyways, this is the drip rail, and as you can see, it's rotted all the way through up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. Let's see. It has a brake right in here, but I think it's laid underneath this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it all the way, all these spot welds down through here, and then I'm going to cut it right here, and I'm going to fix any of this because as you can see up in there, it's pretty bad. I actually, when I was building the car, my lines wasn't lining up, so I ended up putting if you look from the inside of the car to the back, the pillar, the package tray and all was shifted over. It's not now, but it was shifted over about 1/4 of an inch, and it was just enough to mess my body lines up. So what I did was right here, I hooked a strap around from on the inside in here, and I came around and I went through right here through the spot, and then I hooked it to the floor over there, and I pulled it over. Like I said, it was, the tape measure was reading out 1/2 inch, which means that it only needed to shift 1/4 of an inch. So I shifted it over, and when I did, it literally crushed that a little bit. So I'm going to fix it. And on these cars, when you replace the panels, you can't get in here to weld like the factory did. If I would have had a cell panel, I probably could have a new cell panel, but they don't make the cell panel, neither do they make the roof. So what I did was I tightened it up real good, and then I put some stitches here, and I'm going to clean them stitches up, and that trim will cover all that. So I'm going to get the camera over on another table, and I'm going to go to work, start drilling out these spot welds. All right, guys, I got my stuff, and I'm fixing to start drilling it out. I usually start with like a 1/8 drill bit, and I drill each of them, but I don't go through. I just drill until I have about a 1/16 in, or the thickness of the metal, and then I come back with 3/8 and finish it out. I probably won't drill it all the way through. I mean, I'm gonna try not to, but I usually drill until it makes a complete circle. And then I'll get my hammer and chisel and I'll try and knock it off, or either I'll just grab my air chisel and I'll pop it off. I could probably hit it with my air chisel right now and take it off, but a lot of people don't have an air chisel at home, so I'm going to do it with the drill some, and then maybe the air chisel. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. Like that, went all the way through, but it's no big deal. I can weld it on the back side. Didn't realize how sharp my bit was. So I just have a, I guess it's kind of like a gasket scraper, real thin, and I usually just try and hammer it up in there, which I might not be able to. And it popped it. Coming apart pretty easy. Usually like it's coming apart pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and locate the spots up inside of here and drill them out so I can release it from it. Let me see. So these are the drip rails that came off of another 63, 64 Galaxie. They're the same if it's a fastback and not a box top. So as you can see, there's spot welds in here. I'm going to release those spot welds and pull it off. And actually, I don't know why this one got cut, so I probably shouldn't even have drilled those. So I guess it'll be all right. I'll leave them, and then I'll remove these and figure out what's going on. I think that when these were removed, that it might have got cut, or either these came off of a 63 and the 63 doesn't lap like that. I'm not sure, but anyways, I have these. They're the same as far as the outside, so if I have to, I'll just weld those back up and it'll be good. But I just really need this section right here anyways, so let me drill these spots out. Alright guys, so I realized that I made a mistake. There was no need in me drilling these out. It's kind of dark, and I've been working on this car so long, and this is actually like the first Galaxie or Ford that I've done. You know, usually we do the, not the shoebox, but usually we do Mopars, the B-bodies. That's the Camaro jig over there, my setup right here, so I can work on the dash and lay out my bolts. But anyways, I didn't need to drill this out because I thought it was all connected because of this right here is where I looked at. And now I see why it looks like it's two-piece. It's actually one piece like these. It's just that that section is laid on top and then that section goes up in. So I got to looking at it and it's actually split right there. So all I gotta do is drill them out and this piece will pop off, and then right in here it actually, that flange turns up and then welds up here. So my bad, don't drill those out. I better edit the video, or maybe you just have to watch the whole thing to figure out what's going on. All right, now that I'm back and I'm back on track, I'm gonna drill these spots out and do it the right way. It's a learning process for you and me. Like I say, I've never done one of these, and I'm learning. I'm going to leave it in the video, that way I can show you that, hey, even us guys that you think are pros mess up. Now, I usually sand it flat. That way it'll show me better where my spot welds are. So after I sand it, I'll get it over here and show you. You can see my spot welds. They show up. So I'm gonna drill those out and get them out of the way, or I might go ahead and just cut this off, grind the drip rail off, and I might be able to just chisel down through there and get it off. That's probably what I'll do. It's probably gonna be easier than drilling, because I can't really get the drill up in here unless you have like a angle drill, because I wouldn't be able to get but so many. All right, so I got my die grinder and I've decided that I'm just gonna cut it off down through here and get it out of the way. And I'm only going up to right here, so. Yeah, it looks pretty bad under there. But like I say, the reason I am pulling it off is so that I can fix it. You see right there, I did some patching up here. This is not it. This is the lead. So you can't weld near it because it just comes out. But that's the lead seam that you see them spots in. And whoever removed the trim off this car, they dented it. Like they just, but anyways, I'm gonna get my air hammer and try and. Now this is the Chicago pneumatic, it's called a zip gun, GP714, and this is what I use to cut cars apart with. And I use just a flat chisel and I resharpen it. And that's about the angle that I sharpen it on. Hopefully this thing don't go to heck when I go to chiseling it off. I'm worried about what's under it. I'm just starting on the edge and trying to push it away from the metal right now. And you can see all that rust falling out. It's pretty bad. This car was pretty toasted. I would say everything on it was good, but the roof, everything but the roof was bad. But that'd be an understatement because the roof is pretty shot too. But I'm going to get most of the rust out, and most of the rust is just right here along the edge. So I'm going to work it out. I had already fixed some spots on the back. I fixed the back window. That'll be in the Modern Ride magazine, possibly. I'm not sure what all they're going to run. They just told me that they wanted everything that I did to it. Move these before they fall. I'm gonna see if I can get y'all in here for a little better view of what's going on. Alright, so I shut the doors down a little bit because it was having a glare, and I got a little light over here. Maybe it won't fall when I go to chiseling, and maybe you can see a little better what's going on. And you can see it's pretty bad. so I've got it off. I'm gonna go back and grind these spots, and I'm gonna make me a patch for right here, and I'm going to make a patch down here, and I'm just going to cut it in. It's pretty bad, but like I say, I'm gonna do that, and then this right here is still all right. I'm going to treat it so that it don't get worse, and paint. So I got a 36. Alright, so I'm going to go in here where this bad part is, and I'm going to cut it out. It's pretty bad. So right in here, you can't really, let's see if I can get y'all over here. When you cut, when I'm trying to cut in right here, I'm going to hit this. I don't worry about it. I just cut it in. If I hit this, that's fine. I just weld it up later, because obviously I got to weld up my holes where I did the boo-boo. There, and I'm going to come trying to figure out how I'm going to get in there. I can't, so I'll have to figure that out, what I'm going to do, if I can cut it off. It's going to get lapped with the drip rail anyways. But I would like to get it cut off. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and cut down through here. It looks pretty rough, but it's not. So I'm actually down below it, and I can't get in there. I could get the Sawzall and cut it probably. Alright, I'll try to get in there. So I actually got in there at an angle, and I need to straighten that back up. I don't know, I think that's where, when I was hammering with the air chisel. But anyways, it's good, and I got it cut out. I need to get in there and grind some. Alright, so I've got that. I'm gonna put some OSPO in there and treat it, and I'm gonna go ahead and OSPO all this, and I'm gonna cut. So up here, I just cut out the square, and there's some lead, so I'll probably have some problems welding, but I'm gonna weld it the best I can down through here. I'm gonna treat all this, and then once it gets leaded, it'll fix it. Alright, so this is what we use to treat rusted surfaces. It stops the rust and it prepares the rusted surfaces for paint. But you have to make sure that it's dry before you paint. So it don't take much. This right here will last a while, but it's OSPO, and that's it. You can get it online. I just have a little in a bottle here. It just sits in there in a brush, and I'm gonna drop it down here and treat these spots. Also, it does affect the welding, so try and stay off where you're gonna weld at. The actual surface. So just get some up in there. It's so well, a little bit goes a long ways. So I'm gonna treat it, and now I'm gonna just put some up in this hole over here where I can see the exposed metal in there. The whole car, it's gonna get lined, and I want to try and get as much of the rust as I can. So while I got it open, might as well go ahead and treat it. And I'm gonna treat all this. So, like I say, didn't take much. Got the welder over here. I've got it prepped. I'm gonna grab a napkin and I'm gonna wipe it. That way it'll dry fast. It ain't gonna wipe off, so just dab it on there. That way it helps it dry faster. Where you're gonna weld. All right, so I'm gonna go over here to my little scrap pile I got and look for me a piece that I can use. This piece right here will work. I have my scribe here, and I'm just going to roughly mark where or how big I need. So basically to there, and I'll just go over and cut that. Let's see, I can get this piece here too. Right there, and I'll just leave it a little long. So I marked it. And I have my little piece of patch for up here. I left it long because I'm just going to grind it. And then I have the patch for down here. And I'm going to go put a break in it, which I'll probably have to break it a little bit further down so that I can get a break. And then I'll just grind it till it fits. Let me see. I'm gonna stick this in here and I'll mark where I need to break it. And then I'll trim the rest. Alright, so my mark, lock this side down, pick this one, and go in there, and then fold it, and there we have it. I'm going to stick this in there. I'm going to mark it and start trimming it down, and I'll use my die grinder for that. So see how this fits. It's pretty close. I'm going to have to trim a little off the back, which is fine because I kind of figured I would. But 36. Which is pretty close. Trying to square that off. For freight belt sander, I can get in there and square all this off. Now I'll just square that back corner up. And that's pretty much it. Now so my scribe, and I'm gonna mark it on my cut and my cut. Now I'm gonna just go, I'm gonna mark it a little bit big on the back. And I'm going to go to the bandsaw and cut it. So I went to the bandsaw and cut that edge down. And let's see. It's gonna need some more trimming, but at least I'm close. Yeah. So now I'm going to get my welding hood and the welder. Before you weld these pieces in, this is going to be on the inside of the car. You want to paint it. This is weld through primer. That way it don't rust. And that's how to get painted once. And let's see. That way it's not just bare metal up in there. Fixing to start welding this piece in. So get it up here. Get it kind of fitted and put me a tack on it. And then I'm going to tack it down here. And push this up. See if I can pick it out a little bit. Got my little screwdriver. Yeah, just pick it out a little bit. So I just put a couple tacks in it, evenly spaced, and I'm just going to go back and put a tack in between each of those. Gonna go and weld in between these. So while I'm here, I want to go ahead and fix all these. spray a little. This is Medallion Etch-Weld primer. That's what we use, and it's a weld through primer. So I just spray up in there. Same with the bottom, spray up in there before you put it on. And like I said earlier, you want to paint the back side. That way it's not exposed. So, Now I'm going to weld the bottom side. Alright, now that I got this patch, and it's painted, I'm going to get my drip rail, and since I cut it off right here at this joint, I'm just going to cut this one off, and I'm going to put it in there. So, stick it up in there, see how it does. Looks good. Need to clean a little spot off right there. Alright, got it there, fits. I'm going to go take it to the sandblaster and blast it. That way I can get this rust off and the paint. Then I'm going to respray the inside, put it on there and weld it up. So, one side. Was some tape on it. Alright, so when I sandblasted, a spot came through right here. I'm gonna fix it, and I'm gonna weld that, and then I'm gonna grind it. Now that it's all fixed, welded, I'm gonna grind everything, paint it, and that'll be it. That's pretty much it. Alright, I got it welded up. It's on there. It's good as new. Gonna paint it and call it a day. Getting ready to move it on to bodywork. So yeah, that's it. All right, everybody, that wraps up today's episode with Project Lor-Van back here. I'm gonna flip around, show a little bit about it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified when I put out videos. Gonna try and start putting out videos more often. Today was a new trial. I'm trying to figure out how to do videos without a whole lot of editing, because I don't really know how to edit. I guess the more and more I do, the better I'll get at editing. So I'm gonna flip around here and show you Lor-Van. Like I say, I'm using a gimbal from Go-Go's Garage. Go to his page and like and subscribe to Go-Go's. I'll put a link into it in my description down below. But this is Lor-Van, and we did the drip rail today. So patch the drip rail in, Let's see, the lights and all, trying to not move it to where, but yeah, that's it. I put the trip rail in. Like I say, this right here is lead, so that's just got to get filled with lead. But that's it. Lor-Van.